Out of these two images, one was rendered in D5 render and other was rendered in V-Ray 3ds Max. Can you tell which one is which? Here's image A and image B. Can you guess which one is V-Ray and which one is D5? If you can guess now, let me know in the comments. Let's see which one of you can get it right. So today I will render the same interior scene first in V-Ray 3ds Max and then in D5 render. And then I will compare them. I will try to be as unbiased as possible and I will describe the pros and cons of both renderers. So let's begin the experiment. I have a 3D model of an interior here. This model was created in 3ds Max and the textures were made for V-Ray. So that's going to affect our comparison with D5. Keep that in mind. D5 will have some disadvantages in terms of texturing, but maybe it will have some advantages too. Also, I'm using V-Ray 7 for 3ds Max and the latest D5 update, which is 2.11. I have chosen this scene because it has no additional complexities. It has only V-Ray Sun as its primary light source. Now let's explore the camera and light settings of V-Ray as we have to match them later in D5 render. So I have two cameras set up here in 3ds Max. These are V-Ray physical cameras. This is camera 1, this scene, and this is camera 2. Now let's see the camera settings. I will select the camera and go to the properties. So this is an 18mm lens. I have depth of field turned on here. I have V-Ray's physical exposure on and the vignette setting is 0.6. I have set the camera's white balance to 6000 Kelvin and I have the automatic vertical tilt shift on. So these columns here are straight in the view. Now let's evaluate the V-Ray Sun settings. I have set the sun intensity to 0.15. Then the size multiplier is set to 2 and the filter color is just white. And the photon emit radius is 50. Well, now let's go through the render settings. I'll go to render, then render settings. Now right under the common parameters, the output resolution is set to 3000 pixels by 2000 pixels and the image ratio is 3:2. Here I have chosen bucket image sampler. The minimum and max sub-dBs are 1 and 256. Noise threshold is 0.005. This means this render will take a bit of time to complete. Now in GI settings, the irradiance map is set to high also. Light cache sub-dBs are 2000 and the sample size is 0.002. Again, this means it will take some time to render this image. Also here I have some render elements set to use in post-production. So that's it. Now let's render this image. If you want to know the detailed analysis of V-Ray render settings, I have a full video dedicated to it. I will provide the link of that video in the description. So the render is done. It took 3 hours and 56 minutes to finish. This is the raw image without any V-Ray display correction. I will do some very minor adjustments here like contrast and the saturation before saving the image, like very basic stuff. So here's the difference between the completely raw image and the adjusted image. Now I will export or sync this 3D model into D5 render with all of its textures intact using the 3ds Max to V-Ray sync plugin. So let's open D5 render 2.11. Here it is, it's empty now. Now in 3ds Max, in the top left corner, you will find this button. This is the sync button. It will show this animation of syncing when you click it, and it will take a few minutes to sync depending on the complexity of your model. So the model is here in D5. First of all, I don't want to ruin this camera angle, so I will immediately go to this camera icon and click it to save this view for rendering. Now let's set the image ratio and the resolution of the output render. I'm doing the same as V-Ray 3x2 and 3000 by 2000 pixels. Now let's set up the environment. I will try to match the environment and effects with the V-Ray's environment as much as possible. So first, the effects. I will turn off auto exposure and do it manually. I will also match the white balance with the V-Ray camera's white balance. And I will do same with the vignette setting. Now let's go to the environment settings. I will choose HDR as the environment and choose pure white. Now I will turn on the sun and rotate it to match the V-Ray's sun direction. Also trying to match the sunlight intensity and the sun disk radius to V-Ray's sun. Now I'm adjusting the exposure again and also decreasing the bloom effect. Then I will go to the camera lens settings. The focal length is 18mm, just like the V-Ray's camera. I will also turn the 2-point perspective on, which will give us the same effect as V-Ray's auto tilt shift option. So these are the very basic settings. Now I will fast forward as I'm trying to match two images as much as I can. I will also edit the values of some materials in D5's material editor. I will not change the base texture, but I will just change the reflection values, opacity values, bump values, etc. And I will also change the glass materials as V-Ray's glass doesn't match well in D5. So this was the result after 17 minutes of render time. Now let's compare it with the V-Ray's raw image without any adjustments. This is the V-Ray image, now D5, and now V-Ray again. This is a side-by-side comparison. The left one is D5 and the right one is V-Ray. Let me know your opinion in the comments. Also, did you get it right when I showed it at the beginning? Now let's compare them with a slider. I mean, it's really close. Personally, I find V-Ray to be slightly better due to its dynamic range. If you look at the middle part of this image, you will notice that V-Ray has more dynamic range of colors, while in D5 it's kind of blown out. Also, V-Ray reflections and glass materials are better, but D5 only took 17 minutes to produce this image, while V-Ray took almost 4 hours. So both of them have pros and cons. I just expected D5 to be worse. D5 surprised me with how good it is compared to V-Ray. So this was the video. Let me know your opinion and which one is your favorite renderer. Don't forget to like this video and also subscribe. I will see you soon in another video. Goodbye.